Hello team. Okay, so today I want to give you a really brief training on how to handle objections in your business and how to close your prospects once they are ready to join. A lot of the time, especially when people first start, they fear objections, and when people tell them, I can't afford to join right now, or I'm really sorry, I don't have the time, they take that as their solid answer. And they end the conversation there. It's a case of, oh, okay, thanks for your time, speak to you soon. Whereas actually, objections are amazing. You shouldn't fear them, you should embrace them. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why objections are just the perfect opportunity to move the conversation forward with your prospects. Number 1, it's a really good opportunity to invite conversation with your prospect, to find out what they're really concerned about and to see if this business will genuinely be a good fit for them, not for you, for them. Number 2, it shows that your prospect is actually interested. I would much rather have somebody give me an objection than go quiet on me, because it shows that they're interested enough to actually ask or to share their concerns. Number 3, it's a really good opportunity to train your ladies before they've even joined, because when you handle their objections well, you are showing them right from the get-go that objections are not an impediment, it's part of the process. So you're showing them that, but you're also showing them how to respond. 2 things to remember when you're dealing with objections is, number 1, don't get defensive. You are not under attack. You are just having a genuine conversation with somebody about their concerns. Number 2, don't go into convincing mode. We're not here to convince anyone. We're in the sorting business, not the convincing business. It's our job, rather than convince people, to sort who this is going to be a really good fit for. If you go into convincing mode, you're going to start sounding a little bit desperate. The conversation is going to be less relaxed, it's going to be inauthentic, and it's going to be less helpful to the person that you're talking to. So that's 2 things to remember. Don't go defensive and don't go into convincing mode. Okay, so I'm going to give you some tips now on how to actually answer objections. Number 1, find out their why, find out their reason for doing this. After you send them the join video, ask them, what appealed to you the most? What did you like best about the opportunity? Then you're going to find out their main reason for wanting to do this. It's really important to know somebody's why ahead of time. Number 2, ask a clarifying question so that you can get to the bottom of what they really mean and that you're completely sure that you understand their question. And number 3, use the feel, felt, found method. In a nutshell, this is basically, I totally understand how you feel. I felt exactly the same way, but this is what I found. It's used in all sales businesses, in all industries. It's a very well-known method. It's probably going to sound a bit wooden at first, but the more you use it, the more you're going to get used to using it, and it will evolve until it sounds more and more like you. And you might not even use the words feel, felt, found, but you'll be getting to the same point. And then there's a closing sentence. So just to make this really clear for you, I want to give you a few examples, and I'm going to use the example of a lady. I found out her why, and her why is basically that she wants to quit her full-time job and spend more time with her children. I'm using this why because in our company, this is probably the why I hear the most, and I just want it to be said right now, I have helped so many women achieve this why throughout my team, so it's totally and utterly doable. When you answer objections with a very strong belief that you can help them, you are going to be far more effective. Okay, so one of the first objections that I'm going to talk about is one of our most common, and that is that I don't have enough time to devote to this right now. Such a common objection, and I think we can all relate. We're all busy, and I think most of us felt like this before we joined. So what you need to do is remember, the first thing is to ask that clarifying question that gets a little bit more information on their objection. So I would say, how much time do you think you need to devote to this to build a successful business? Let them answer, and then go into feel, felt, found. And here's what I would say. I totally understand how you feel, honey. I felt exactly the same way. Then give a little bit of information about you. For example, in fact, I am a single mom of 2 children and I have a full-time job. So I am very, very busy. But here's what I found. Most people within our team work very part-time hours. The secret of success of getting ahead in this business is not spending every hour God gives you building your business. It's actually spending a little bit of time every single day doing the right activities. Remember, you found out their why. You know why they want to do this. So this is what I would say next. So if you could devote a little bit of time every single day, maybe 10 to 15 hours a week with 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, half an hour there, in order to quit your full-time job and spend more time with your children, would you be willing to invest that time into this? So the next objection that we get most often is, I can't afford the £69 to join right now. Now, £69 is one of the cheapest opportunities to start up, and if someone can't afford £69 to join, then for me, it's a surefire sign that they actually need to join, because in all reality, £69 these days is not a lot of money. It's a meal out for a couple of people. So the clarifying question in this case would be, if money wasn't an issue, would you want to jump in with both feet so that you can quit your full-time job and spend more time with your children? Now, what this clarifying question is going to do is it's going to show you if they genuinely want to do this business, or if they're just fobbing you off. Because sometimes people do that. Sometimes people just are not that into the opportunity and they don't know how to tell you. So their go-to answer is, I can't afford it right now. So you really need to ask that clarifying question to see if that's the true reason they don't want to join. Now, if they absolutely do want to join and it is just the cost of the startup kit that's holding them back, we can work with that. We can help them. So what I would say to them is, do you have a credit card that you can put it on just for now, or do you have someone who can lend you the money? Or would you be willing to sell some stuff on eBay or Facebook? Most of the people who join our business are mums, and what mum doesn't have a few bits lying around the house that their children have either grown out of or got bored of. You know, it's so quick that you can raise £69 with a little bit of ingenuity. So that is what I would help them do. And I would let them know that if they are coachable and if they really, you know, follow the training, they are going to pay that £69 off in no time. They're going to get £236 worth of makeup in return for that. And they are never, ever going to be asked for another penny. They're never going to be asked to hold stock. There is no renewal fees, monthly or yearly, like that is it. As soon as their small investment is paid off, every single sale from then on, forever, is profit. So that is how I would answer the I can't afford it objection. So the next objection we hear a lot is, I don't want to bother my friends. So the clarifying question in this case would be, why do you think that you would need to bother your friends? Let them answer and then go in with feel, felt, found. So I would say, I totally understand how you feel, honey. I wouldn't want to bother my friends either. And I'm so glad to hear that, because it's not what we do. Our job is to share products that we love and to share our love for an opportunity that enhances and changes lives. If you come across like you're bugging someone, then you are definitely doing it wrong. And we will provide full training on how to do this the proper way without being overly salesy or pestering people. So the next objection that we get a lot is, I don't know enough people. And you know what? That was actually one of mine when I first started. So when I started 4 years ago, I had 150 people on my Facebook profile, which compared to the average is very low. I had just moved to a brand new area, so I didn't know anyone locally to hold house parties other than my mother-in-law. I've always been a bit of a nomad. I've lived in 6 different cities and I'm only 35. And I've lost contact with a lot of people along the way. So for me, personally, I felt like I didn't know enough people to do this. So my feel, felt, found, it really comes from the heart in this instance. So the clarifying question would be, how many people do you think you need to know? Once they've answered, again, feel, felt, found. I totally understand how you feel because I felt exactly the same way. I would give them my experience. And then I would say, but you don't need to worry because we are going to give you all the help we can to help jog your memory of everybody that you do know. And you may be surprised, you know more people than you think you do. But beyond that as well, we are going to provide full training on how to stretch beyond the people that you do know. We are an online business, and the majority of presenters who do well build their business with brand new people. And in any case, if you want to make more friends and meet new people, younique could be the perfect thing for you. The next objection, I am not a salesperson. So the clarifying question in this case would be, why do you think you need a sales background? Let them answer and then go in with feel, felt, found. I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way. I had no sales background, but it's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for salespeople. We're looking for passionate, genuine people who like to help others. Does that sound like you? From my experience, a lot of the time when people have a real strong sales background, we spend a lot of time on teaching them what they've learned so that they can learn a softer, more attractive way. People hate being sold to. They love to buy, but they hate being sold to. So it's absolutely not a benefit in this business having a sales background. It doesn't really hurt either, but it's not a bonus. Another objection that we get a lot is, it's just not the right time for me. The truth is, it's never the right time. Just like having kids, you know, it's never the right timing for something like this. So you ask the clarifying question. In this case, it would be, what would need to change in your life for it to become the right time? Let them answer and then go in with feel, felt, found. So I totally understand how you feel. I felt exactly the same way. But I found that there is never the perfect time to do something like this. Just having kids is something that you need to prioritize. Let's talk about how we can fit this into your busy schedule so that we can fit it around all the plates you're spinning so that you can quit your full-time job and spend more time with your children. And finally, my absolute favourite objection, is this one of those pyramid things? So the clarifying question in this case is always going to be, what makes you think it's a pyramid? I love asking this question because most of the time people don't actually know what a pyramid scheme is. They've actually heard it from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone, and they're making assumptions without actually understanding the network marketing business model. The last thing you want to do, remember, is get defensive or start convincing. So find out what they mean by a pyramid model. I would then say, I totally understand why you would ask that question. It's a really good question to ask. Pyramid schemes are actually illegal. It doesn't involve any sales of product, and people are only paid to recruit other people into the scheme, and that is not at all what we do here. If you need to put your mind at ease, we are owned by Coty, which is one of the 3rd largest beauty brands in the world. They also own very, very high profile brands like GHD, Michael Kors, Wella, OPI, and 77 other brands that are really high end, and they would never back anything that was illegal. If they then talk about how we build teams and get paid off the back of that team effort, then I would say, if you're referring to the network marketing model, then absolutely that's what we do. Yes, we are paid to build a sales force just like any other company does. And then we only make money off helping that team become successful. It is not unheard of. In fact, it's very common for people to be actually paid more than the person that brought them into the business. And it provides a residual and passive income going forward. That's why I'm so in love with this business. So that's most of the main objections that we get in this industry, and it's the same for all of the different companies, all of the different opportunities, and learning how to handle these objections is going to massively improve your recruitment skills. The next thing people struggle with is closing people once they're interested. For some reason, people really struggle with asking the question, and I have seen people literally talk and talk and talk and talk their prospect out of joining, and the prospect just wants to know what happens next. They don't know what to do. So the question that you ask is, so do you have any more questions, or are you ready to get started? If they say yes, brilliant, send them your link and get them started. If they're still sitting on the fence, then I would say this: I sense a little bit of hesitation. What are you really thinking? What's really holding you back? And then you're going to get to their main objection, like the real reason that they're not sure about doing this. And then again, refer to my answers for the previous objections. Another thing that you can do to get people off that fence is to offer them the opportunity to have a 3-way chat with your upline. You can do this at any point in the conversation. You can do it before you get to the objections if you're not feeling confident yet. And I would choose your nearest elite upline, because they've been in this business a while, they've made it to elite, they know what they're doing, and they're obviously invested, and they'll do a good job of this for you. So a 3-way chat, introduce your prospect to your upline, and then shut up. Let your upline do the talking until they bring you back into the conversation again. You can also invite your prospects to opportunity events, either locally, we've started doing a lot of them now, or online. We do a lot of online opportunity events. And if they're still absolutely hesitant about joining, sometimes you need to have the posture to actually take it away from them and say, do you know what, honey, it sounds like this isn't for you. Do you know anybody that you can put me in contact with who would like to make money from home selling beauty on social media, and get referrals from them instead? People hate having it taken away, and it makes you look less desperate. So sometimes that will just give them the little push they need to say, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. So I hope that helps, ladies. If you've got any questions, let me know. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment or a like, and feel free to share with your teams. Until next time, see you soon.